We're starting a new series here at Leeman Geophysical where someone with zero geology knowledge tests our products and labs to see if they're actually user-friendly or if you need a degree to operate. Today's product, the Geology Squeeze Box. Welcome to Geology versus Noob. Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little different than usual. We're starting a new series here called Geology versus Noob, me being the noob. And a key thing to keep in mind is that I'm just the office administrator. I know nothing about geology. I don't even remember anything that I learned in high school, unfortunately, so there's that. But I think this will be a fun series for anybody who also knows nothing about geology, but maybe has an interest in learning more. So today we're going to be taking a look at the squeeze box to see if it's actually easy to use for someone who's never used it before. If after watching this video you're interested in getting one of these, it will be linked below. Over there will also be some instructions on how to add a second push plate if that's something you're interested in doing. So I've printed out my instructions. I will be reading them. First, it says that we have to turn the handle counterclockwise and pull the ram to the back of the squeeze box. So let's make sure it's all the way back. Oh, there we go. All right, we've got that done. All right, second step, add sand. There are some other videos that I will also link below that have a more in-depth description of what's happening here from someone who does know what they're talking about. So if you're interested in watching that, go ahead and do that. If I do recall in one of those videos, he said you don't have to use sand, you could use household objects like flour, coffee, anything similar. But we have sand, so that's what we're gonna use. All right, it says that our layers need to be different thicknesses. We're gonna use different colored sands. So let's start out with one layer. I think you can do, well, obviously it said different thicknesses. And then it says kind of level it out. Okay, now we're gonna use this green colored sand and do a thinner layer, I guess. Carefully make it. Let's do a little bit more. We're gonna call it good. All right, let's go back in with some brown sand. I need more. Let's do a thick one. Okay, now let's go in with this fun purple color. Maybe, there's not a whole lot. Whew, and I made a mess. All right, so that layer's a little thinner than I was hoping, but we're gonna add more brown. Something else that it also notes is something else that's noted in the descriptions is not to overfill it, because when you squeeze it, it will overflow, obviously. If you were doing a lab with this, you would probably want to draw a sketch or take a picture of what you're starting with versus what you end with. I'm not doing a lab though, so I am going to skip those steps. Although I guess I technically do have it on video. There's even a video on how you can take off the side plate and put some tape here to pull off that first thin layer of sand, tape it onto a paper, and you'll just have it right there. That's actually pretty cool. If you're interested in getting this, you might want to check that video out. Again, we'll have them linked below. Next step, crank the handle. All right, I've gone about as far as I'm gonna go. You really couldn't see the brown on that side on the very bottom. Oh well, like I said, we're beginners here. All right, so obviously it's not difficult to do, super simple, kind of cool to see what it looks like. The purple does look much better on this side. I do think it would have been better had I leveled out the brown at the bottom a little better than I did. Oh well, it worked and it's fun. Overall, I'd definitely say that it's easy for anyone to do. degree or not. If you can pour sand and you can turn something, you're good as gold. If this is something you might be interested in purchasing yourself or for your classroom after watching this in-depth video, we'll go on and head over to that link in the description where you'll find instructions, a basic lab activity, a core lab activity, and instructions on how to add a second push plate if you're interested in doing that. One more look for the pretty sand. If you do decide to purchase one, once you've tried it out yourself, go ahead and come back and leave us a comment to let us know how you liked it. Thanks so much for watching the first installment of our new series, and I hope you'll come back to watch even more. Bye!